Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time of the year. As much as I hate to say it, we are back in midterms mode. Now, if you've been around the channel long enough, you know that this has become sort of my specialty of video cramming for midterms in 48 hours, 24 hours, cramming for finals in 72 hours. For some reason, I always just push things off to the end and have to cram. So that's what today's video is going to be about. Hopefully you guys don't see me stress too much. Luckily though, this week I only have one midterm, which is for economics. However, it is a financial investments class. I've never done any sort of finance class, so there are a lot of complicated topics that are going to have to be covered. But yeah, stay tuned and watch me struggle for the next 48 hours. If you haven't seen these types of videos before, first off, definitely recommend checking out our previous ones, which will be linked in the description down below. However, my usual plan of action is to number one, go over all the lecture notes and review any sort of material that I need to understand. Number two is going through our previous problem sets, making sure I understand how we got to the solutions, how I'm able to answer them, and finally is going to be running through the practice midterms and looking at the solutions that they provided. Hopefully the combination of those three tasks will prepare me for this midterm. However, right now I am studying at Labyrinth. I'm probably not going to be able to talk too much, but hopefully I'll be able to give you guys a little bit more an inside look later. Alright, so I wrapped up all the work I needed to get done for today. The professor also had a last minute lecture so that we could review some of the material. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to have to take a more detailed look at the notes as well as finish up the rest of the practice exams. This class is honestly taking a pretty big toll on me. I'm praying that I'll get through it, but yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow.
Day 2.
Alright folks, starting right now is a 24-hour countdown to my economics midterm. As of right now, there are a couple of things I need to get done in order to best prepare myself. Right now my main priority is going to be going over the lecture notes so that I have an understanding of the fundamentals, because based on what the professor was telling us about the format of the exam, it seems like it's going to be a lot more conceptual questions rather than practical applications of it. So that's a little bit of a bonus for me, is that if I'm able to understand the concepts of it, and hopefully those will be able to transfer over to the actual questions that I'm going to be answering. So a good strategy I like to do while I'm studying these practice exams is to go through every single question and pick out the key topic or key equation that that specific problem is focusing on. If I have an in-depth understanding of the fundamental that the entire question is asking about, that allows me to use that knowledge for all parts of the question. Rather than focusing on the exact numbers that I'm plugging into the equations, it's better for me to understand how we got to those equations so that regardless of whatever type of problem that I'm facing, I'm going to be able to use the fundamentals of the topics that I have a good grasp on to answer those questions accordingly. So right now it's 12:45, I have my lab at 1:30, so I'm going to try and do as much studying as I can before then, and then afterwards I'm going to have to get back and hit these books. However, as I mentioned, a really crucial part of me studying for these exams is to always go through the previous practice problems and practice midterms that the professor has provided so I can better expect what's actually going to be on this midterm. Now, as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of my college work lately on my iPad Pro, but the accessory that has been most handy throughout this entire process is going to be the paper-like screen protector. Since I'm basically answering all these problems on Notability, having a paper-like screen protector literally makes me feel like I'm writing on paper. Now, I even have my notebook right here where I'm handwriting some important equations, but anytime I go from this to this, honestly makes no difference. Right now, as you can see, I have a pretty banged up job of a screen protector because I actually replaced it from my previous one, but I just got a new one in the mail, so I'm going to install that one really quickly. Alright, so this is the current screen protector. As you can see, there are a ton of bubbles, so I'm definitely going to have to get rid of this one. This is the envelope that it comes in. It's very nicely packaged. You just rip this open. Alright, so inside the package you obviously get your screen protector, but the cool thing is it actually comes with two of them, so if you mess up or if you have someone else with an iPad, you guys can definitely split them up. You get a really cool looking postcard, which is really cute, and then installation tools, which I'm definitely going to need. If you also go to use.paperlight.com, they also have a very helpful tutorial on how to install this step by step, so that's what I'm about to go through to ensure that I don't have any bubbles under the screen protector. Alright guys, I would say it's a pretty successful installation now that I've actually been in school and been using the paper-like screen protector when I'm writing my notes, going over these practice problems, or doing any sort of annotation. I can really feel the difference. Not only does it act as a really nice matte screen protector, but if you're using any sort of apps with the Apple Pencil, it's really going to make a difference. It's honestly a great investment for any students out there, so I highly recommend it, and I will be linked in the description down below. Now, back to studying. Alright, so I just finished up my lab, which ran for about 2 hours. This honestly kind of put a kink in my studying plans, but I have to get back to it now. So far, I've gotten through the practice test, like I said. Now I think the best approach is going to be looking at an overview glance of everything that we covered. If there are any specific topics that I'm still unsure of, then I'm definitely going to have to study that just a little bit more. But so far, it's going okay. Studying for an online midterm is definitely even harder. Alright, I've been cooped up in the house all day, so we came to the park to have a little bit of a study break. We've been riding the electric skateboard around. The weather's pretty nice, so I'm going to try and fly the drone and get some pretty cool shots. Alright guys, it's the morning of the exam. How the format's going to work for this online exam is you basically have within a 24-hour time period, you have 2 hours to take the exam. That gives me a couple of hours in the morning to review some last minute stuff, and then hopefully around noon, I'm going to start the exam. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below. Comment if you guys have any other strategies for this online exam period. I hope you guys are doing well on your own midterms, and as always, stay gold.